You guys live coverage of the draft portion, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we actually have a camera behind a player.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to follow with them as they draft.
Yeah.
You're going to actually get two drafts during the deck building portion. We actually are following two drafters, and we're going to be able to give you we'll run the second one on here.
There you see our pod. Look, there's Huey Jensen there. Is that Ben Stark next to him?
Not sure. We'll
yeah, can't quite tell.
Yeah, so we have Ben Stark, and that's who we're going to be following.
All right.
So Ben is flanked by Brian Braunduin and Huey Jensen. So he'll be passing to Huey and receiving from BBD.
Yeah. So Ben Stark was just featured in the sideboard a few minutes ago. You saw a quick little interview with him, Ruben Bressler. You can see he's taking a pick through his deck.
So this is our first pick here. Yeah, so his rare in the pack is Simic Manipulator, and at uncommon he has Bane Alley Broker. The most powerful cards in the deck would clearly be the Manipulator, the Broker, and the Krakenura. Manipulator's a pretty big bomb, and it's not unsurprising that Ben is first picked it here.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when he moved it to the back. I thought, is he not picking the Manipulator? No, he...
Interestingly enough, what he has to watch out for is it's very probable that the next two picks, when you're doing a draft here, the next two picks are the Broker and the Krakenura. Broker can go later than you'd think because Dimir is a deck that people shy away from.
Sure.
The biggest problem is both those picks are a little, they're gonna get the people to the left are gonna be moving, they're both of those kind of complement the Manipulator strategy.
Right. Yeah, I think it was interesting in his interview with Ruben. One of the things he said, draft the most powerful cards and then see what's coming. So I think clearly you take Manipulator. And here,
he's very happy to take True Fire Paladin. Yeah, the rare is missing from the pack, so the rare is not missing. So the opponent decided to take. It looks like we have missing an uncommon out of the pack.
Didn't quite catch it.
Interestingly enough, he didn't. The next best card there was probably the Shamble Shark. He didn't really tank long on that. I think Ben considers True Fire Paladin to be a stronger card than Simic Manipulator based on just the authority with which he was willing to make that pick.
Yeah, that was even a quicker pick than the Manipulator. So.
Right.
But yeah, here it is. He's doing. I think he kind of broke it down very simply. But take the very powerful cards early, and then if things are flowing that way, then obviously you can keep with that sort of strategy. He's got two completely different colors.
Boros tends to be the most powerful deck if you can get it in draft, and now that he knows the person passing to him is not in Boros, it seems like it's a pretty wide open thing to go into. The Ember Beast pick here, which he's making over Legion Loyalist and Basilica Guards, seems to he wants to try to cement his spot as Boros. So far he's passed nothing good for a Boros deck.
Sure.
And so if he can get both Brian and Huey out of Boros, he should be pretty happy with where he's standing.
So far, his first three picks: Simic Manipulator, True Fire Paladin, and Ember Beast.
Yeah, almost certainly I would say at this point he probably has put Huey Jensen into a Simic deck. So Huey would be able to do a start on Krakenura followed by Shamble Shark.
Yeah. And there you have Arrows of Justice.
Yeah, we see a Martial Glory Skinbrand Goblin and Treasury Thrall. The Thrall is pretty good, and Ben's considering taking it here. It's really, if he wants to stay straight Boros, probably Skinbrand Goblin is the pick. Martial Glory, while being a strong card, is pretty replaceable. And this is a pick he's going to go use his entire time on.
Yeah, this one's tough because you're ready to go with the Goblin. But the removal or the combat trick are both attractive.
Well, I think my next favorite pick there would be the Treasury Thrall.
Yeah.
If I'm worried that Boros is drying up, then I would want to take hedge my bets with the most powerful card, which was the Thrall.
There's an Armored Transport. You see another Krakenura that's going to go Huey's way.
The Simic's definitely the open guild, and
he's Ben's
taking the Krakenura. That's not to say he's abandoning his Boros plan. Rather than that, I think so. Now at this point he has three Boros cards, a Simic Manipulator, and a Krakenura. If Krakenura is splashable in a Naya style deck,
sure.
He's not really sure which way he's going. I think the Simic bet is going to be hard to do. I don't think he can actually switch back into Simic, because on the way back, I don't think he's going to be getting anything.
Huey's going to take all those Simic cards.
So we see Urban Evolution and Gruul Guildgate. This is a pretty deciding pick for him, whether or not he actually wants to try to move back into Simic, or whether he's just going to try to splash some of the green cards he's getting late.
Yeah, it looks like he's looking at
Burst of Strength. Okay, so he's going for a very, possibly, I think what he's trying to move into is Gruul aggro. He's seen hardly any white open. He can maybe splash the True Fire Paladin. His deck's not working out the way he wants it to right now.
Pick up 8 cards. You have 20 seconds.
And yeah, Drake-Wing crosses.
Drake-Wing crosses. Right?
Yeah, he immediately takes the green 2/4. So he's just trying to cement. I think one of the strategies with with Gatecrash draft is you need to kind of lay your claim to a guild pretty early. He's clearly passing. The Simic is the guild he should be, and that doesn't mean like that's how he should be drafting. Like positionally, that's where he should be. Sometimes you don't take the positionally correct archetype just because the power level of certain cards that you've opened are better.
Right. 7 cards. You have 15 seconds.
And another Krakenura. Yeah, a very easy pick for him.
Yeah, so it does seem like he's going some sort of Gruul plan at this point.
Yeah, he may. Yeah, I don't think he's not particularly happy with how things are. He may, even if he opens another, move back into Simic if he opens a really strong Simic rare, and then he'll just Pack 2 will be bad for him. If he ends up in Simic, he's going to be low on playables. I see. Nothing good here. Metropolis Sprite is probably the best card in the deck. He could also take Ruination Worm. It'd be interesting to see which way he goes with this.
Goes with the Sprite.
Yep.
So he's still considering blue, obviously.
Yeah, I mean the thing is the Boros, he even if he was willing to take bad cards, he'd only be about 4 cards deep into a Boros deck.
And Furious Resistance to the front and immediately picked.
Yeah, the other cards are not very playable.
No.
You can play Razor Tip Whip. You prefer not to.
Draft. Lay out 4 cards. Pick up 4 cards. You have 5 seconds.
And another Sprite. Yeah, so at this point, I think that pick 2 where he immediately dished a Shamble Shark for a True Fire Paladin. It's the pick to make, yeah. This is one of the issues I've been having when I've been drafting recently is I found that Boros is just so popular that it's very scary to go into.
Guild Gate there, right?
Yep. Naturalize will probably make his deck more often, and he's really so okay. I think he's looked to me like he's committing to Simic.
Yeah, avoiding the Guild Gate there seems like a big signal there. What was that?
Hydroform.
Okay.
Probably not going to make the cut, but it's possible. He is low on playables. It's a bad trick, but a card you can run.
You will now have 30 seconds to review your
Alright, so he has 3 cards, picks that don't do anything. He has a double Krakenura, double Sprite deck with Simic Manipulator, so he has plenty of Evolve. Playable-wise, though, he only is... It appears that he's only, 6 cards into his archetype?
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, the real challenge is because of the fact he was passing Drake-Wing Crassuses and Shamble Sharks.
Huey's going to take all.
Yeah, let's see. This next pack is really going to make or break him.
Right. Yeah, Huey was seeing a lot of Simic early on when Ben was taking some of the red cards and just non-Simic picks. Definitely a Krakenura and a Crassus went that way.
The one pick I'm interested in is when he took the Naturalize over the Guild Gate. That to me was a surprising pick. I would have gone Guild Gate there as well, but he must have something else in mind. I mean, maybe he's not planning to play the red. For me, it would be a hedge bet because I'm pretty sure that I don't expect good things this pack. Based,
right.
I'm expecting to kind of not see what I want.
For this pack, we'll be passing to the right.
I'm expecting that Ben might see a lot of powerful white cards this pack, which unfortunately he can't do anything with.
Yeah.
So he opened a Domery Rod.
Wow, that's something.
Domery's pretty good. It's not the kind of windmill slammer that you may think it is.
He did pick it.
Yeah, there's not a natural Simic pick. You're not going to first pick Adaptive Snapjaw here.
Right.
Or Pit Fight. Domery's easily the best card in the pack. As far as Planeswalkers goes, it's one of the least dominating Planeswalkers in Limited. That said, any Planeswalker in a Limited format is pretty good.
He definitely seems to be waffling between some sort of Gruul or Simic. When he's picking blue cards, he's picking red cards.
He's a rug deck for sure at this point. He can't play black or white.
Lay out 13 cards.
And I think the Gruul Guildgate is going to come back to get him just because I imagine the best cards he'll be seeing here are red and white cards.
Pick up 13 cards. You have 35 seconds.
We see Cloudfin Raptor, which is one of the high picks.
And the Shamble
and
Shark.
Shamble Shark.
Yeah.
Almost certainly we're going to see one of those 2 get picked. I think he's looking like an Ivy Lane Denizen.
Yeah. There's another one I think I could see him considering. That Cloudfin Raptor is it's so good so early, but so bad like,
Well,
what is
and he
late.
has a pretty good curve right now. I think he's going to go with the Raptor.
He does go with the Raptor there.
Yeah.
But you can see he considered the Denizen. Didn't seem to consider the Shamble Shark there.
Yeah, he has 2 Metropolis sprites and 2 Crocodiles, so the Shamble Shark, in a lot of ways, you know, if you just need a larger ground pounder, he has that covered. I think evasion is more important, and even in that case, the Raptor may just be the better card.
Sure.
Simic is one of the decks that I probably draft the least amount, but the one
It's
drops.
a difficult deck to draft, but we'll get to that in a bit.
We see a Bane Alley Broker and a Rapid Hybridization.
We need a Prophetic Prism at this point.
Yeah, he's looking at the 2/4. There's the Prism, and Rapid Hybridization is not the worst pick. He values the 2/4 fairly high. The 2/4 is pretty good in Simic because of its ability to evolve things. It's actually a little weak at evolving Croconuras, which he has 2 of, but it's very strong at evolving, say, Cloudfin Raptors.
But he did go with the Prism there, I believe.
He went with the Prism? I believe he went with the Scab Clan.
Oh,
2/4.
okay. I must have missed it. I thought he went with the Prism, but
11 cards.
it was a green card. Okay, it was Scab Clan Charger then.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Prism on the way back.
One of the things that it sounds like what he's worried about is just making playables. So he just, you know, he wants to make sure he has the correct number of creatures, and he's sacrificing a little bit for that. There's a Hands of Binding. Not really. Once this is what I said when they said on the way back he was getting a lot of red and white cards. So totally lost in Hands of Binding are probably the only cards he can really pick here. Unless playing a tricolor deck's fine, but Scheme Grand Goblin is not really the card you want to be doing it with.
Yeah, he goes with the Goblin.
He goes with the other 2 cards aren't very good is the thing. You know, he's going to have an awkward deck. His mana's going to have to come together for it. And that's just, you know, that's going to be the way of this draft.
Right. Notice we're not seeing like any black cards. They are cut off. There's a Slaughterhorn. That's not bad.
So interesting to note, he didn't really consider the Shamble Shark or the Diluvian Primordial. Primordial's good, but especially in a format like draft, the Slaughterhorn's one of the top green commons.
Yeah, he seems to be very base green at this point, and then just kind of the red and blue.
Yeah. To make his mana base better, he would love to take. I think in cases of ties, green cards are going to win out.
Draft. Layout 9 cards.
Here, it still seems to me like there's one. I wouldn't be surprised if Huey's in some sort of Simic deck. So there's a Wasteland Viper here, and that's easily the pick for him.
You see a Leyline Phantom there.
Yeah, when Leyline Phantom, decent. It's very good at evolving creatures. In cases, it's about the same as in the Adaptive Snapjaw for the deck.
Sure.
And the deck wants, you know, probably 2 5s, but it doesn't really matter what they are, so he doesn't have to prioritize them very high.
About the halfway point through the draft here.
Yeah, so what Ben has done here is he's made sure that his deck's going to have 23 playables, and he's drafted accordingly. We see another
Viper. Wasteland Viper.
Yep, and there's also Disciple of the Old Ways. Yeah, he's going to go with the Viper. It's a little bit stronger of a card. Interestingly enough, not going with the Verdant Haven. He needs mana fixing. We prefer to get it in the way of Guild Gates and Key Runes, as opposed to playing just a mana fixing card like a Verdant Haven.
Draft. Layout 7 cards.
One of the issues with his deck currently, so I'm looking at the Simic deck, is that it's going to have trouble evolving right now.
Yeah, he's not actually super Simic. Was that
There's another Skinbrand Goblin.
Yeah.
So he's really just going for that tricolor aggro deck.
5 seconds.
And interesting enough, he took that over a Guild Gate, and so still doesn't seem to be overly concerned about his mana. I would say at this point, blue is appearing. It looks like he's basing in Gruul.
Yeah, there's was it a Naturalize?
Yep, a second Naturalize. He doesn't. The other cards are none of them are things he's going to play.
Right. And then again, you know, if he had chosen the Gruul Guild Gate earlier, he would have had a Naturalize coming to him anyway.
Right.
Pick up 5 cards. You have 10 seconds.
It's like
He does have Urban Evolution, which is actually a playable card.
it looks like he's considering Predator Rapport for a second, but no, goes with the Evolution. Taking a deep breath. I was drinking 5-hour energy over here a little while ago, so it hasn't
Last
kicked
Thoughts
in yet.
and a Totally Lost. 2 fairly playable cards here, and he went with.
Yeah, he didn't catch what he went with. I saw a Skyblinder staff in there, which I don't think he went with, and I don't know what
Yeah,
the
there's
other.
that one. I was surprised he didn't pick up one of the other 2.
So he's
Pick
going
Shattering Blow. He
Blow.
really doesn't like Totally Lost in this deck.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he's planning to play much Simic cards.
Two cards. You have 5 seconds.
Another Shattering Blow. He takes that.
And just throws the last card.
Whatever the last card was. I think he saw it. We didn't. I'm sure it wasn't anything too impressive. Unlikely.
You'll now have 45 seconds to review your picks.
The 5 mana aura?
Yeah, so
Predatory Visitation.
So what he's doing here is he's really just trying to go for a straight. He moved back into a straight Gruul deck, but one of the issues with the straight Gruul deck is he's only 13 cards deep into it. It seems very unlikely he's only going to get to play 2 colors, but that's his hope is that he can only play 2 colors. He's going to need a lot of help to make that happen.
Yeah, the pick was Primal Visitation, the one where he where we didn't quite catch it. I'm actually surprised at that pick. I don't really think he plays it.
No, I mean it doesn't seem like he's considering playing any of the cards here. Yeah, there's not. He's hoping to not have to go blue. That's why you started to see cards like Wildwood Rebirth.
Yeah,
possibly being played. It appears that Ben really does not like being 3 colors in this format. He's looking for something very aggro, very streamlined.
yeah.
You have 14 cards.
Kind of consistency and synergy over like raw power, kind of splashing access to maybe more powerful cards.
Either way, I don't think he's going to be too happy with his deck at the moment. He has a lot of high pick commons, but still he's kind of lacking that oomph which you'd want in a deck.
Yeah. All right. Pack 3 here.
Pack 3 and nothing for a Gruul player.
I mean, he's got a Scab Clan Charger, which is not a great pick. What was
well,
that?
sorry, Homing Lightning.
Homing Lightning,
Which
okay.
is right.
Yeah,
So at this point,
didn't see that at
remember,
first.
to make his deck, he's going to need 10 playables out of this pack. One of the issues is that in that pack he opened, there's nothing really good that's going to table to him. So if he gets 10 playables, he's going to need a playable with all his first 8 picks, and probably need to table something out of this next pack, which is going to start getting pretty low on the quality scale.
Sure.
He needs to be on the lookout for, things that he can table. Otherwise, he will end up splashing blue.
Draft. Layout.
Interesting enough, in this guild-based format, you kind of always have to keep this number in mind. You only can afford to burn so many picks on the wrong guild, and it feels like Ben's burned 1 or 2 few many. So it's because every pick there's that True Fire Paladin, a Cloudfin Raptor.
Right.
Spend a lot of early picks on things that aren't in his deck right now.
First pick Simic Manipulator in the entire draft.
Right.
Not that he couldn't play blue, but it doesn't look like he wants to.
Double
at this
blue
point.
seems pretty hard to play also.
So if you're just joining us, we are coming to you guys live from GP Charlotte. I'm Joey Pasco, joined by Matthias Hunt, watching the first draft pod of the day. Ben Stark is who we're currently following. We are just a couple picks into Pack 3.
Okay. Interesting enough records in this pod. Ben Stark currently is at X1 in the tournament. Brian Braun-Duin is at X1-1. And everyone else is X2 in the pod. So this is a pretty relevant pod for Ben.
There's another Homing Lightning.
Second Homing Lightning, so there's a playable for him in here for sure.
Disciple the old ways as well.
Yeah, he's going to probably hope to tabling Disciple is ambitious. He's going to hope to maybe table the Active Treason out of this pack. Or
he does pick the Homing Lightning.
In a pinch, he could also take the Key Rune or the Riot Gear. It's unlikely that all 3 of those will be gone, so we'll wait for pick 10 to see if he's probably going to end up playing whichever of those 3 tables to him. I think ideally he'd like the Disciple. That's probably wishful thinking. Hopefully he can get the Key Rune, and the consolation prize would be the Riot Gear.
Sure.
Draft. Layout 12
Yeah, starting the pack on 2 Homing Lightnings. He did not have any removal up to this point, so that's got to be a pretty great place for him to be.
Pick up 12 cards. You have 30 seconds.
Okay, so we have a Green Side Watcher. He does not have
no
any
gates.
He has a Snapjaw. There's not going to be anything he can table out of this.
Does he consider Cinder Elemental? I believe that's...
yeah, I think it's the Adaptive Snapjaw he's going to go with. It's either that or the Cinder Elemental.
Yeah, he's also
Cinder
got that
gives
Watcher.
him
He
more
does go
reach.
with Cinder.
Yeah. He could table a Snapjaw out of this pack. That would be very good for him. I don't think he tables it because of the fact that there's, cards like Tower Defense, Bioshift in here, which are going to be, probably still be in the
Lay
pack.
out 11 cards.
Yeah, and that's the last pack he can reasonably table anything quality out of. So he's going to just need a live pick out of these remaining packs to get up to 23.
Pick up 11 cards. You have 25 seconds.
There's a Furious
another Cloud
Resistance,
Fin
another
Raptor
Raptor, a Martial Glory. He can't obviously.
And now he's in trouble because it really seems like his deck is not open. At pick 4, there's not a great pick for him. If he wants to try to splash that blue again, he can take Cloudfin Raptor, but there just isn't a pick for him unless he's willing to take, Tin Street Market.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he's trying to decide between Raptor and maybe Resistance there.
Draft.
It is not
Lay out 10 cards.
it is not clear.
Yeah, it's not clear as to what he's going to do with this one.
It looks like he's going with the
Cloudfin
Raptor.
Raptor, yep.
So I'm almost
Pick
picked the
up
Resistance.
10 cards. You have 25 seconds.
That was a tough one.
So yeah, it seems like he's not going to get there off a 2-color deck. Perhaps it's interesting to see if he'll take Thunder Fist, Burst of Strength, or Prophetic Prism.
Yeah, Thunder Fist on a card.
Right.
He goes with Burst of Strength.
Burst of Strength, he's going to still hope to not play blue, though there probably will be 1 or 2 blue cards in his deck.
I wouldn't have been too shocked to see him take Thunder Fist there, even if he couldn't ever activate the Vigilance, just as a body.
Draft.
Yeah, the best Gruul decks are fairly low end. The biggest issue is that he doesn't have like the War-Mind Infantries or the Madcap skills to really do that aggro swarming Gruul deck that can be really powerful.
Right.
He's going to be playing, some sort of aggro deck. Yeah, the Simic, just as in pack 1, the Simic is wide open.
Scorchwalker here, maybe?
Yeah, Scorchwalker is the pick. The Shamble Shark and Simic Charm still both there.
Five seconds.
So, Scorchwalker, a fine creature here.
Draft.
Has enough 2-drops that actually is a pretty fine. It's a decent pick for him.
You can see how much that True Fire Paladin pick in the very first pack kind of affected everything. Yeah, there's
Gyre Sage is an easy pick for him there. There was Simic still open. There was the Frilled Oculus. Yeah, this kind of thing, I guess, maybe lamenting if he could have picked the Shamble Shark, he could have Blinders on, went into Simic, and would have a very strong deck here.
Yeah.
As it is, he kind of, I think he drafted for power, got a little punished for it, but these are things I don't think you can really expect going into it, and he's making the best of a difficult situation.
Pick up 7 cards. You have 15 seconds.
And
another
a
Raptor.
4th Cloudfin Raptor.
Wildwood Rebirth
Seeking
goes
Rebirth.
into the deck, or goes into the pile there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lamenting, the Simic deck that could have happened here.
Yeah, it kind of would have been a beast of a Simic deck, and it's possible Huey
Lay
has it.
out 6 cards.
Well, parts of it. Ben still has 3 Raptors in his pool. Or is it 2 Raptors? It's one of their...
He's at least 2. I think it's just 2.
You have 10 seconds.
So
More blue cards.
A bunch of blue cards.
So what tabled to him? We knew nothing would table out of this pack.
5 seconds.
Wow, yeah. Those were the Mind Eye
He
Drake.
just doesn't take the Gilgit. I just don't think he doesn't actually think he's going to play
Lay
blue.
out
Yeah.
5 cards. Pick up 5 cards. You have 10
So let's see.
seconds.
What was the prize? Okay.
He's
There was the
gonna get
Millennial
it.
Gargoyle. Sorry, I'm missing the cards at the table. I missed that one. The Ryakir was there. The Key Rune was gone. And the Disciple was gone.
So pretty much as you suspected, except
Except there was
Gargoyle
also the Gargoyle. I missed that one the
there,
first
yeah.
time through. And that card's fine. It's just a
Pick
creature.
up 4 cards. You have 5 seconds.
And
Yeah, I mean,
then you see a
he can
couple
play
more
the
Simic
4-2.
decks.
It's not a good card,
Yeah.
but he can play it. He doesn't know if he'd rather...
He goes with
He'd rather
Bioshift.
play Bioshift. The 4-2 is just pretty miserable.
Yeah. 4/2 flash for 6.
3
So,
cards. You have 5 seconds.
not so
Crackling
impressive.
Perimeter, but he has no gates. Sure, just
Yeah.
take it.
Passed a couple of white cards, which he
Lay out
certainly
2
can't
cards.
use.
Pick up 2 cards. You have 5 seconds.
And he does a
a
totally lost or a
Thespian
Thespian stage.
Totally lost. Goes with a stage.
Draft.
And then Shadow Valley does enough. So Ben, I think, going to have an uphill battle here. Remember, he's the one X1 player in this pod, and you can see on his face he's not particularly happy with how this has gone.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I would like to,
Head Judge Chris
I hope to see him featured in one of the camera matches.
We'll try to keep
I
him.
kind of want to see what he ends up with.
Yeah.
The face down pile of cards. In a moment, what you're going to do is you're going to collect your belongings as well as that face down pile.
Yeah, so definitely drafted with power. His deck ended up with a lot of creatures at 2 and 3, and some tricks. Nothing rare, nothing, and I think he's probably short on playables. You may have to play some cards he'd rather not be playing.
Yeah, just kind of like to review if you missed some of it. Pick 1 was a Simic Manipulator. Pick 2 was a True Fire Paladin, but he passed a Shamble Shark, I believe, out of that pack. So he started looking to go maybe Boros, picked an Ember Beast third.
I think passed a Drakewind Crassus. So
and then eventually passed Drakewind Crassus. So he started passing Simic, then started taking Simic with Cloudfin Raptors.
And eventually ended up in Gruul,
Yeah,
but
so,
it appeared, that Simic was probably the place he wanted to be.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks like. I mean, do you think he's just going to be straight 2-color, maybe
Absolutely.
splash blue?
If he thought he was splashing blue, you can see it as late as his last pick, where he took a Thespian Stage over a lot, totally lost with 2 cards. If he thought there was a chance he'd be playing blue, he'd probably be taking the card like totally lost.
Yeah.
I think Ben is fully expecting to just play red green.
I think there was a Simic Guildgate at the end there too that he just passed, so he would have taken that.
If he was feeling like he had to splash, he definitely would have taken the Guildgate. But no, I think he's building a 2-color deck.
Yeah. So these guys are obviously going to deck construction at this point, but we will have another draft to bring you guys. It was recorded during that segment, and we'll be showing you guys that, and we'll be seeing it for the first time as well. To see, I don't know who the other player is that we followed, but we'll be back with that, and we'll all find out together.
So you have a 5-minute interview with you here, while which we're gonna have put on the screen while we prep the next draft, and then we'll be back with some commentary. So stay tuned.
Yeah, be right back.
StarCityGames.com is proud to present the second ever Gold Rush at Grand Prix Charlotte. The Gold Rush is a promotion in which old, rare, and in-demand cards are